So one thing that I saw at that age and on my particular soul journey was that at 21, 22, I was a little bit cliquish. That's a problem with Generation X. At that time, we identified, as, well, I'm part of the alternative crowd, and I listen to this music, and we watch these types of documentaries. And if people don't think like me, I don't want to know them. And so that was how I behaved at that time. And I missed out on some really wonderful people. And I think that message is important today because people are polarized in different ways. And I want to remind people that God looks at the heart, not at your politics, not at how you dress, but really how you treat others and how you interact at an energetic level with others. So what I saw is that there were people who prayed for me, and I didn't even bother to get to know them at the place where I worked. And I kind of looked down on them because they were older than me, and they were working, as a server at a restaurant. And I thought, oh my God, I'll never do that again. I will never, judge someone for materialistic things or, judge them in that way. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect in that way. I'm saying that was my lesson. I think these soul lessons are things we have to keep working on through life. And judgment is a big part of some religious cultures. And I grew up around that. And so part of this spiritual awakening of this near-death experience was deconstructing all the ways I'd been judged as a poor child, as an abused child, as a child who was a free thinker and thought differently about things. So, that there's a lesson there that's complex. And that's the energy of the other side is these lessons, they seem like metaphors or they seem simple on some level, but you can spend a lifetime unpacking the wisdom, and applying that wisdom. And here's another bit of wisdom from the light, and that is remind them to go to nature. And that's a very simple reminder, but I think in our culture, a lot of health and healing can be found simply by simplifying life. That if you garden, and I know, Kathy, you plant a garden, just having your hands in the earth gives you good energy. Eating something from the earth gives you good energy. The more fresh fruits and vegetables you add to your diet, no matter what it is, there's just something about communing with the earth that heals people. And I've seen healing happen for people in simple ways like that. There was a cousin of mine who was a long-term heroin addict, and he finally went to a rehab that allowed him to pick apples. And so he was, after the rehab was over, he just stayed and he picked apples for several months after that. And he never relapsed. He came back to Austin and became a drug and alcohol counselor. And I honestly attribute it to two things: his mother giving up, and this one prayer that she made at a holy site where she was like, I give my son to you, God. I can't do this anymore. And he went to nature. He was smart enough, and the people at the rehab were smart enough to know that nature heals. And we all have examples of ways that the energy from nature heals us. But it's something we have to do almost daily, especially when we're surrounded by technology, to right ourselves. We are a part of nature. We are a definite part of it. And so that was a message as well.